watching this video, you're probably having transfer case problems, or you're in a state of shock because you found out how much a transfer case is. Right now they're $4,000. If you get a rebuilt one, it'll be $2,000. And then if you get one out of a junkyard, which they're probably shot, you're probably going to pay somewhere about $1,300. Plus the mechanic's going to want $400 to install it. If you own a 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee or a 2011 Dodge Durango, the first thing you need to know is why it goes bad. You have to buy 4 tires at a time if you have the Quadratec transmission. If 4 tires aren't the same size and you only change 2, well, the computer's reading that the wheels are turning at different speeds, so it's going to activate the 4-wheel drive. And when that happens, it keeps going in and out and in and out, and it's going to wear them out, and the clutches are going to go bad, and you're going to have a whole bunch of problems. But there is another transfer case that's called a single speed. It doesn't have a motor on it. It's the second kind. If you look in your owner's manual that came with your vehicle, it'll tell you you have one of 2. If you don't have any electrical wires going through it, you've got the single speed, and that's what I had. But it's still $4,000 for another transfer case. So I'm going to show you a bunch of pictures that I took, some short videos. Not a professional. All I did was I didn't have the money to go and spend for a transfer case, so this is how I solved it, and I can't believe what I saw. Okay, so we got 8mm hex screws that are going into the coupling for the drive shaft, 12mm inverted Torx on the balancer, and then there's 10mm inverted Torx on the transfer case. Not too bad to remove. Then we used a hammer to punch these in here. You have to know to rotate the drive shaft because there's part of the coupling is cut away, so you can get a screwdriver or a chisel in there and just lightly tap these pieces apart. These are with the hex heads removed on the rear end, not the transfer case side. And then once you give it a couple of wraps, it all comes apart and everything's pretty good. When it comes apart, there's nothing really to look at here. It's all for itself. There's nothing to do. It's all nice and clean. There it is. Transfer case. I don't really know if I could touch that. It could wrap there if, you know, there's a lot of oscillation in there. The snubber isn't even damaged here. It's nice and smooth. And then here's the metal. There's a magnet in here. The magnet takes all the metal. It's like mush. Mixes with the transmission fluid and it all collects there. So it did its job. Bearings seem fantastic. There's no, they seem okay. Now the reassembly. Here's the new chain. Lined up tooth for tooth. There's the difference. This is everything cleaned up. The gears were cleaned up. None of the teeth were worn. Everything's good. Installed it. Now, there's no way for the chain to hit this piece like it did before. It's absolutely, that's as far as it's going. The other chain was hitting on top of there. The snubber wasn't damaged. Everything's clean. This is where the magnets sit to catch all the filings, and boy, they sure did their job. And everything's good to go here. This is the job all put back together. They're the 10mm inverted Torx. I've never done a transfer case before, but I'll tell you what, this thing is indestructible. The chain is the only thing that went bad, and it could partially be my fault because I didn't change fluid. The manufacturer doesn't say. Right there is the worst part, is the carrier bearing. You snap those bolts off into the frame, you're in for a world of hurt. Transfer case up on the front has 2 slots located at 2 o'clock and 10 o'clock. Put your chisel or your pry bar in there, and that's how you get it apart. This job took a total of 3 hours to do, and it was under $300. Good luck.